not eyewitnesses, but that does not mean they did not know eyewitnesses. Two of the other gospel writers may very well have been, and that's Matthew and John. And so again, Jennings' statement reflects what I think is a hypercritical stand that's entertained by some scholars, but not by all.
Another statement that he made was, in fact, the Gospels were probably written 40 to 100 years after Jesus' death. Where would you place them?
Okay, 40 to 100 years. That's way too far. I would put the more like 35 to 50 years after Jesus' death. The books are written within the lifetime of eyewitnesses, and written in the lifetime of people who knew what Jesus said and did.
We heard this over and over again from scholars. If the majority of the New Testament books were written 35 to 50 years after Jesus died, then they came out when eyewitnesses of those events were still alive. It indicates the accounts must have been accurate, or they would have been rejected by both sides, those who loved Jesus and those who hated him.
And it wasn't just Christians who checked up on what was being said. There were plenty of still hostile eyewitnesses of the life of Jesus for the next generation, particularly in Israel, who, if the first apostles had gone around saying anything substantially different from what others knew Jesus did and taught, would have been very happy to intervene and to correct and to perhaps snuff out this movement.
We spoke about the historical accuracy of these books with respected Jewish archaeologist Dr. Gabriel Barkai, who recently was awarded the prize for archaeology in Israel. As an archaeologist, do you think that the writers of the New Testament anchored their stories in real historical events, real historical things that you've discovered in the past?
Yes, I do. I think that much of the evidence of the Gospels mirrors a reality of first century of the Common Era.
Dr. Megan Broshi is former curator of the Shrine of the Book, Israel's museum containing the Dead Sea Scrolls. He's a world-renowned archaeologist and scholar, having excavated the most recent discoveries of caves at Qumran.
I mean, the setting is absolutely accurate. Absolutely accurate. The geography is accurate. The mode of living. I mean, they couldn't have invented it, and they didn't have any need to invent anything.
We can actually go to the place. It's a real place. It isn't some fairy tale land somewhere. It isn't King Arthur and his round table. We can actually go someplace and say, this is where it all happened. In fact, look, we've actually dug up the very pavement where he walked, and, things like that can be found.
Respected Jewish archaeologist Dr. Hillel Giva has worked on some of the most important archaeological excavations in Jerusalem since 1967. He is the editor of the leading Hebrew journal on biblical archaeology in Israel.
The New Testament is a very authentic historical book. I mean, no doubt that there is history in it, real history and authentic history in the book.
So this is, as I say, a time when there was still quite a number of eyewitnesses, of people that knew about the events firsthand. And there is absolutely no fiction there. There are not historical novellas. They are as far as accurate as they could have done.
In fact, archaeologists have confirmed that Luke was so accurate that he cited facts about 32 countries, 54 cities, 9 islands, several rulers, and he never made one mistake. Now, if the 4 Gospels are anchored in history, what about the birth of Jesus? At Christmas, Christians around the world look to Bethlehem as the place where he was born. But during the ABC special, some scholars cast doubt as to whether Jesus was ever born there. So next, we will travel to Bethlehem to investigate this question.
Next, we'll journey to the traditional birthplace of Jesus and discuss the different opinions surrounding his actual birthplace. Was Jesus of Nazareth born in Bethlehem, or was he born in Nazareth, as his name implies?
I think he was born in Bethlehem. In fact, again, let's take the alternative. What evidence is there that he was born in Nazareth? And my response would be silence. There is none.
Also, was Jesus really born of a virgin? We'll explore these issues and more when we return.